What up? On the Sick One to Sobriety. My name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. Today, we're going to talk about how I chose drugs over my mom. Crazy, fucked up story. And if you see me laugh during my story, I'm laughing because of how ridiculous and how stupid and fucked up I was, not because I think it's fucking funny on what I did. So let's get straight into it. I was kicking it with my homies. We're posted up. We're all fucking my Leos while tore back, looking like Freddy Krueger and shit. And we wanted to pick something up, but three, three grown men, no money at all, dog. $0, dog. Somebody had, somebody had to ask their fucking mom to borrow a couple bucks, and I don't know how they ended up scrounging up maybe like $13 or some shit like that. So they called the homie to sell us 20. And who else are they gonna send? Este pinche pendejo. For me to go burn myself out, you know what I mean? Oh, and me, I volunteered. Since I'm not really putting in money, then I'll just go do the legwork. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I have to do my part to get, gotta get in where you fit in so I can get my pipazos in and fuck it, dog. And so, all right, I'll go. And then all of a sudden, everybody volunteered to go. Me and two, they thought I was gonna burn them or something. They just didn't trust me. You know what I mean? And for good reasons. They should think that I'm gonna burn them, and they shouldn't trust me because there was a high probability that I was gonna burn them. So they went with me, and we walked to the other side of the apartments. And the guy who had the stuff was not willing to give up $20 worth for $13, and we're just trying to make the deal. They were trying to like fucking hustle this fool, and no quería y no quería. He's like, nah. He's like, no, tampoco no te puedo nomás dar, $13 de esa madre, pues como eso no va, güey. No, esa madre no existe, güey. Like, and only outsiders that would come kick it with us always tripped out on the type of business that we wanted to do, and they're like, hey, no, let me get a 10, but and then I only show up with fucking $7.67. You know what I mean? Like always, like some random ass shit, and people knew us. We were scandalous as fuck. If you said that you're from my apartments, automatic scandalous, dog. You know what I mean? And this was no exception to the rule. We're trying to be scandalous, and but the guy was like, nah, I can't do it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I got a few bucks at home. Yo puedo completar esta madre, you know? I was like, let me go home. And they were like, all right, cool, we're waiting for you right here. I go home and I fucking feel, let me change hands with the mic because I gotta snap my fingers. I go home and as soon as I walk into the door, I feel the vibe change like that. And I see my dad getting ready. I just seen the worried look on his face, like him being in a rush, worried that he needed to get somewhere. You know what I mean? And I felt it. And I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, it's because your mom's in the hospital. Something happened. She's in the hospital. We got to go right now. And guys know what my first thought was? It wasn't, oh shit, yeah, let's go. It was, oh, that's because I got my friends waiting for me. That's because I got my friends waiting for me. And I need to go tell them that I'm leaving. Like, dude, like, think about that real quick in your head. Like, I got to go tell my friends that I'm leaving. Like, dude, the drugs had me so fucked up. That's when I knew that the tweaker in me was stronger than anything else, dog. I had zero emotion for anything happening around me. I did I did not. It's hard to say, right? I did not give a fuck that my mom was in the hospital. That something had happened to her. I didn't care. I wanted to get the few dollars I had. I wanted to go back to where the homies were at and pick up. That's it. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. I told my dad, he's like, oh, since I'm leaving right now, let's go. I was like, oh, just let me go tell my friends that I'm gonna bounce so they won't be waiting for me. And he's like, okay, yeah, whatever. He didn't give a fuck what I had going on. His fucking wife is sick and in the hospital. Something happened. And you know what I mean? He's trying to get to his woman. And I understand that 100%. And so I don't know if he said something like, I'll wait for you or something, but I went. I told my friend, and I was sad. Trust me, dogs, I was sad. I took my money over there. I was so fucking sad that I had to just give up the money and leave because I didn't get to fucking smoke. I was, man, I have to go see my mom in the hospital because she decided to get sick. That's pretty much how I sounded. You know what I mean? And I went over there. I told them I was, yeah, I'm gonna bounce. I didn't tell them that I was going to the hospital with my mom, but I just told them, hey, I gotta bounce. And they're like, all right. I come back to the house. My dad's gone. Everybody's gone. And I'm just like, what the fuck? They fucking left me here? Like, they're not gonna wait for me? My dad doesn't care enough about me to fucking wait for me so I could go see what happened to my mom? Like, all of a sudden, I'm fucking butthurt and I'm playing the fucking victim and I'm trying to make the situation about me? And they didn't give a fuck. And like, dude, like, I was supposed to go with my dad at that moment, you know what I mean? And boy, I heard about it from my family, you know what I mean? Like, I heard about it hardcore from them. They got in my ear. I heard an earful. And I'm pretty sure that if they were willing to suck me up, they would have. You know what I mean? And so that night, I had to go to work. So I went to work instead. The next morning, I went to the hospital to go see my mom. And she was doing like some type of tests or whatever. So she wasn't in the room. And I was coming down off of that shit. So I couldn't stay there for a long time. You know what I mean? So I bounced. I mean, and then in my head, and in my heart, I felt justified that okay, maybe I didn't come last night when I was supposed to, but I came today in the morning. She wasn't here. It's not my pedo. I came. I did my part. You know what I mean? Like, this is how fucked up that really is. Like, now I could get back to my life. I don't have to worry about what my mom has going on or anything. So I bounced. And I went to go kick it with my homies, right? It's been a couple of days since I've slept. I was, según yo, responsible enough to go to work, and then I started telling my homie about it. Like, oh, can you believe this shit, dog? My family's over there tripping over there, and then my homie just looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Your fucking mom is in the hospital. You shouldn't be here with us. What the fuck is your problem? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why is this guy fucking tripping on me? He's like, look, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take you to the fucking hospital. And we're in San Isidro. My mom was in Grossmont. He's like, I'm gonna take you over there, dog. I'm gonna wait for you. But go see your fucking mom. And even my brother, I remember him calling me and telling me, like, hey, how come you're not here seeing my mom and get this and that? And then I was like, yeah, I'm trying to make it out there. But I was so fucking smoked out. My thoughts obviously were not right. My homie took me and my whole family was there. They were like standing right there with my mom. Thank God, you know what I mean? My mom, whatever happened to her, she ended up being okay. You know what I mean? Like, nothing bad happened to her after. You know what I mean? Like, and so I go up to the bed, and then I'm really emotional, tweaked out or not. Once I see something happening in front of me, I get emotional and I act upon those emotions. And that emotion was to cry. Obviously, when you're tweaked out, your emotions go through the roof, so you're very extreme on whatever you feel. So I felt extreme sadness come over me, right? So the tears start pouring and like a mug, and then my family's just looking at me, you fake ass motherfucker. Like, you know you ain't crying because you're sad. You're fucking crying because you can't be smoked out with your homies right now. And half of that was true, you know? But I could just feel the vibe coming from my family, like I didn't belong there. Like I wasn't supposed to be there with them. And I felt those vibes because I was smoked out and I wanted to feel what I wanted to feel. Obviously, they would never really feel like that in reality. But that's just how I wanted to feel. That was my excuse. That's what I was telling myself so I can leave. And good, it worked. I fucking convinced myself to fucking bounce. I stayed there maybe like 20 minutes max. And I shook my mom's hand and I was like, you're good? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. But I was so fucking smoked out. I couldn't stand there in one place, all of us all sad. Like, I didn't want to be there. Honestly, 100%, I did not want to be in the hospital seeing my mom sick. I did not want to be in the hospital visiting my mom because I would rather 100% rather be with my homies getting smoked out, doing absolutely nothing, just sitting around doing nothing. But I'd rather be with them. And that's how fucked up and twisted my mind had me, dog. That's how fucked up and twisted the meth had me, dude. I was so fucking gone. I didn't or wasn't able or willing to be responsible about anything. Like, dude, your mom is sick in the fucking hospital. Like, why wouldn't you want? Who in the right mind wouldn't want to be there with their fucking mom? There is so many people that I was around that did not have a mom and would have loved to be in my position where I could still visit with my mom, even if it's in the hospital. There's so many dudes like that tell me that I'm lucky or whatever, but I never saw it like that. I always saw my parents as a weight on my shoulder, somebody people nagging at me, you know what I mean? And it was so fucked up. But I did end up seeing my mom, but after I getting pushed to do it, after people talking shit to me and telling me what to do, but not of my own. It wasn't no vino de mi corazón. It was because other people told me I had to do it. And once I realized that I picked drugs over my mom, that's when I found out and realized shit was gonna start getting out of control. And it did.